Because they're fried bread.
Well, I don't care that they're fried.
I don't like fried bread either.
I don't know. It's just the overall texture, and then they're like really dry, and then it's kind of bland. I don't know. It's just they're bad. Like you have to put a shit ton of like powdered sugar on there, and it just defeats the purpose.
Those are called donuts. Those are different. No,
what are we talking about?
I like Hush Puppies sometimes. Like when you rip them in half and you put the vinegar on, it's pretty good. The problem is when I was a little kid, like little Samus, that was my favorite thing in the world was Hush Puppies.
You are a stupid child.
I mean, it was a place that my grandparents took me that my stepmother never did. So that's just how it was.
Clearly, it wasn't Flavor Town.
I mean, it was. They always let me pick where I wanted to go, and that was someplace that she would never go. So, I mean, whatever is my favorite thing for a long time. Don't judge my childhood, Travis. It's for mocking, not for judging. But this is not a podcast about my lovely childhood and upbringing. It's a podcast about magical gatherings.
Yeah, that's something I'd call it.
Magical gatherings. Two Trolls and a Brew, episode 94. We're almost to 100, buddy.
I noticed.
Almost to the one big 001. 0111?
Triple.
1000? I don't know.
100.
At 100, I think we're going to mix up the Emma Stone gifts. I think we're going to start doing something different. So if you...
They're pronounced Jeff.
No one can hear you anyway, so it's fine. So if you would like to
I said they're pronounced Jeff.
If anyone
Jeff,
would like
just like the peanut butter.
If anyone would like to submit links to any
some
gifts,
peanut butter,
you're welcome to do so at the email twotrollsbrew@gmail.com. Title this week's show: Hazoret loves Charbelcher. Oh, Charbelcher loves Hazoret too.
Lil Hazzy.
Oh.
Lil Hazzy.
Subtitle: Ready for Denver? Not me. I'm probably not going. I'm pretty much decided and definitely not.
I've pretty much decided that I am, even though I don't have much money.
Yeah, that's a big factor. The wife just got done taking like the last 3 days off. Today's her last day.
Neat.
And like for a mini vacation. And we decided instead of going someplace even overnight, we decided we were just the right amount of broke to not actually be able to go anywhere. So we did a staycation. Wow, and I'm like frozen. Are you frozen?
Nope.
All right,
just
sweet.
Your screen's black.
My screen is black even too. Wow, sweet. So yeah, we did.
Oh, you're back.
Yay, I'm back. Staycation, so it was a lot of fun. Let's just get into the meat of the show, shall we? Show meats all over in this show meats. Troll cards, Hazoret, Undying Fury, which I drafted a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was just like so.
Yeah, I mean, in limited, I haven't found it being good, but
it's a commander deck.
No, not even commander, even better. One of the most unstable formats, Legacy.
Legacy. Okay.
So I play a Goblin Charbelcher in Legacy.
I was gonna say that makes more sense now when I look at the title that you picked.
Yeah.
Okay. Charbelcher in Legacy.
Yeah. So if you know the deck somewhat, then you know it just has one land in it, and every spell that it has cost 4 or less.
That is true. Yes.
So I decided to put Hazoret's Undying Fury in it, just to
which costs like
see what happens. Well, it costs 6, but I can still cast it on turn 1.
Okay.
So now basically this is just a so Charbelcher, what it wants to do on turn 1 is either put like 10 to 18 goblins in play, and then so that's one win condition. The other one is Goblin Charbelcher on turn 1, and activating it, which 7 mana isn't that difficult when you're playing a bunch of what are these, like, ritual spells?
Right.
So I figure 6 mana, maybe get a reload and have an additional 4 chances of going off with either of these 2 combos. And so far, between the 3 games of gold tests or gold fishing and the 4 games that I played against somebody, it's on turn 1, like when I cast it on turn 1 anyways, it's basically just win the game regardless of what's happened for the rest of the time.
Right.
Yeah, that's why Hazoret loves Charbelcher.
I mean, anything that does exciting things in Legacy, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I completely zoned out through all of that Legacy talk.
Yeah,
it was like a light switch in my brain. It was like, oh, Legacy, bigga, 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 booga, blugga, 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 blugga.
Oh, what's that? Legacy? Did you say older than modern and I already suck at that?
Basically, yes, exactly, 100%. My Legacy deck, to be totally honest with you,
It's probably a stupid barbarian deck from like Scourge or something.
No, it's the mono black deck that I used to beat Chaz in what used to be Vintage in the way back. It's like Black Knights, Sinkholes, Hymn to Turok. I don't even know if all these cards are legal anymore.
Yes, they are.
Basic Swamp.
It's a really fun. Like, there's actually a deck in Legacy for it. It's essentially 8-rack or Pox.
Yeah, I don't run any of those cards. It's just like a beat down hand disruption deck from like the old school. Like, this thing's probably 13, 14 years old easy. I played it for one tournament and I've never taken it apart since. It's just sitting up there somewhere.
You mentioned the name Chaz and I'm like, oh damn, okay, no, that's really old.
That's exactly
considering. Yeah.
I think John
2008?
Maybe something in there. I think maybe even older than that. So I think I was still in flight school. But it was right during the unbanning of World Gorger Dragon, and we had a tournament. I think the pot was only like $200 or $300, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't that big of a deal, and we played like 4 rounds, 5 rounds, something to get to the top 8, and then the top 8. And they had Kamigawa was legal, World Gorger Dragon was back, like that combo, and John Stone likes to tell people this story. John Stone's a guy who works at the shop at the arena. But he's like, yeah, sometimes you just mulligan until you have to. And I mulligan, and the reason why is he tells this story about how in that finals, I mulliganed down to nothing but Pithing Needle. That was my only card. Because I didn't have any other way to stop his combo. I had like 3 Pithing Needles in the sideboard or something, and that was it. There was no other way for me to interact with that deck. So, because you Ambassador Laquatus was the win condition. You make infinite mana with this combo, and then you bring in Ambassador Laquatus into play, and you mill them out. So I would just have to mulligan into a Pithing Needle so I could play, so I can name Ambassador Laquatus, and then Chaz would get to the point where he would almost die and infinitely combo off, putting the game into a draw. And I think the rules in that state was if you put something into an infinite combo that you couldn't stop, then you just stopped and went to, had another game. So we were like 6 or 7 games deep or something at this point. And I don't know if he was like in a time crunch or what exactly, but he's like, I'm just going to kill you instead. Right? So then I was able to I was able to defeat him with my 1-card hand for game 3, I believe, to take the match. It was awesome. Hero of my local shop.
Do what?
I said hero of my local shop.
Yeah. I don't know. The rule still is if you go infinite and you can't stop it, the game is just over.
Right.
Like you both just lose.
Well, do you lose or does it go to a playoff game?
Well, no, it like goes into it goes into a draw.
Right. And then if the set would be a draw for the finals of a top 8 or something, you play a playoff game.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, I guess.
So, but yeah, that was just, it was a weird time. So yeah, I don't play exactly a lot of Legacy, and Legacy Talk seems to go. Brrr.
I mean, you should. It's really fun.
I have like 99% of an old red, white, or no, blue red Delver sitting behind me, basically. Like it was put together, except for Scolding Tarns, which are now upstairs. But it was ready to go for a tournament, a Legacy tournament that we ended up not playing. So, my troll card this week is a new card from our Devastation, Sunset Pyramid. I don't know if we talked about this before.
No, but that card's awesome.
It is. It's very good. And it'll make total sense to you when we kind of talk about my game day deck. But it's a 2-mana artifact. It comes into play with 3 brick counters. And then you pay 2 and you tap it and remove a brick counter and you get a draw card. If you pay 2 and tap it, you can scry 1. So basically the idea is that you're unmaking the pyramid, you're using it all up. And then once you've used it all up, it's just good for this scrying thing. This card is actually insane.
It's really good.
It doesn't look it. I mean, for 4 mana, draw a card is like a lot of people play that card anyway. To draw a card each turn, every turn for a while. But I don't know. We'll get into this card way deeper, but I think this card is. I'm actually considering adding even more to this deck.
So I'm actually with you 100%. Like I have 3 of them in my standard deck because I'm running a Grixis white control list. Flashing white for 2 Sorens. But
it's fine.
Yeah. But no, I have 3 of them in there. And once they draw me those 3 cards, I basically just sit there and I'm like, okay, well I'm an ult Hazoret now, and now it's a 5/5.
Sure. I mean that's good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like for 2, 4, 6. So for 8 mana, it drew me 3 cards, and now it's a 5/5.
I mean, it seems good. Can I tell you about my new deck?
Yes.
We'll talk about game day. So remember how I think it was last week, or maybe I texted you or something, and I said I think I broke standard. Remember that? I remember.
Maybe I looked at it, but I don't.
I didn't send you a list. I mentioned that. And last week we discussed this guy, this Bloodwater entity. Oops.
Yeah.
So the reason I thought this card was redonkulous is because of this guy, Crush of Tentacles.
Yeah.
So Bloodwater entity puts a card on top of your deck.
Right.
Right? A sorcery or an instant. Crush of Tentacles happens to be a sorcery. Sunset Pyramid draws you a card. So with those cards together, or something like, I don't know, Prophetic Prism, you have this wonderful little 5-mana combo that Crush of Tentacles every turn. And you can attack for like 8, and you can crush. And then you can attack for 8, and then you can crush. Or 10, or whatever. And if you remember a couple of standards ago, I played this Crush of Tentacles deck right into the ground. it used Den Protector to basically do the same loop, right? Like you would Den Protector, you would Crush the Tentacles, you would and just re-go. However, this deck is even better, in my opinion. It's almost entirely mono blue. Essentially, we have 2 double splashes, so we're splashing for the blood water entity, and we're splashing for 2 Nissa's renewals, right?
Okay.
And we're splashing for 2 river hoopty, which is ridiculous. I did not realize how great this card was until I actually played it. It was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So just we'll actually this is the week that I will actually have a deck list for you, what I legitimately ran. But just to kind of give you a rough idea, 2 Pyramids of the Pantheon. Like, it could help you get to the mana you need to crush the first time, but also it's a 1 mana spell.
Right.
To make sure that you're always surging your Crush of Tentacles. The 1 Sunset Pyramid, which I think I would make 2, if I can find a place. 2 Brawl, Chief of Compliance, which is probably not how it's said. I was really impressed with this guy. Yeah, whatever.
Do a barrel roll.
The 1/3. I really liked him.
Yeah.
2 Hoopties, 3 Bloodwater Entities. Of course, you're playing blue and spells, so you're playing 2 or 3 Torrential Gearhulks. I decided on 2. 1 main deck pool from tomorrow. 2 Negates, 2 Essence Scatters, 2 Supreme Will, 4 Disallow, 2 Commit to Memory, 3 Crush of Tentacles, 3 Engulf the Shores. And then for lands, we have basically 2 Lumbering Falls and 2 forests, 2 mountains, and I think 3 Evolving Wilds. And everything else is islands. So it's running like, I don't know, what is it, like 18 islands and 6 other things or something. It's running 24 lands. The only match I lost was because of mana screw. Like, I mulliganed to 6 or 4 or whatever, and kept the ability to play 2 lands and a draw spell or 2. Like single or double, either like a Pyramid or a Prophetic Prism or something, and usually some sort of like medium gas. And I would end up drawing like 2 to 3 extra cards over my opponent and just like not find a land. Both of those games happen to happen back to back in the same match. Against Riley, Dan's son. It was pretty irritating. Otherwise, I think I win that matchup hands down. He was playing the green-black Delirium deck. Something that involves needing permanents on the battlefield. So clearly not something that gets to happen against me. Had I been able to actually generate some mana. So I ended up taking second. I was a little disappointed with that particular finish, but we had some games that were absolutely glorious. I played a game against Remington. We went to time, and I beat him to death in extra turns with my River Hoopty. It was amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm a big fan. I really think this deck did a lot of good, a lot of work. At one point though, just to kind of tell you how crazy this was, I had the infinite combo in my hand, but I had to Crush the Tentacles. I had to do some shenanigans to be able to kill Remington in time because I knew we were getting close to the end of the clock.
Yeah.
So I had Jackie come and sit down and be the judge. And in response to Remington declaring attackers, I Torrential Gearhulked a memory. right? Because it targets
Okay.
the card, and it doesn't matter which half you cast. So I target a memory, put a memory on the stack. In response, I pull from tomorrow for 7. So we shuffle our stuff
Okay.
together because I had to regrow. I had to regrow all 3 pieces of the combo to keep going,
Yeah.
right? So we shuffled our library and our hands back in. I drew 14 cards, discarded 1, and then was able to get my combo reassembled to continue the beatdowns. It was absolutely phenomenal. I tell you, I had not had so much fun playing a game of Magic in a very, very long time. And I love this current standard environment and whatnot. But it was just absolutely phenomenal being able to do some of these crazy tricks.
So, there's a card that I think would go good in your deck. Now, I don't. Well, sideboard at least.
Or wait, I
I
take it
don't
back.
know
I did that.
how.
I did that. I did that opposite. With the pull to tomorrow on the stack, I put the Gear Hulk into play. There we go. That's how I
Okay.
did it.
So I don't know what's in your sideboard, but since you're playing a blue deck, this needs to be in it.
Yeah, I don't have any of those. Or I
Get them.
would.
You know how. So is the Ramdanap red or whatever it's called, the red deck wins? Is that a big thing?
I didn't see any. I know we have a couple of guys who play it. But from my previous experience with those kind of decks, they don't bother me that much.
Okay.
In a deck like this, but it could easily be. I could easily be wrong.
Right. So I was playing it, and I was playing against someone who had the Earthshaker Kenra,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd wiped the field, and I had the 3 mana left over, and I was at low life. Well, like their next turn, they played like the on crasher or whatever, the 3/2 with haste.
Right.
That exerts. So they played that, and they used the Earthshaker Kenra, used its Eternalize ability, and then I read it, just to make sure, and I cycled the Obstructionist, and you can counter the ability from the Eternalize.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I've not only done that, but that's the other reason why. Is it Dissipate is so good,
Disallow.
or whatever the one is.
Yeah.
Disallow.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the Obstructionist better because at the very worst you have a 3/1 flying.
Yeah, no, it's a good card. I would probably play it if I had them. My sideboard at the moment is actually Kefnit's Last Words, 2 of those, which I drafted. I think I mentioned last weekend or something. In addition to the ability to like regrow my creature, and then regrow the spell that regrows my creature.
Okay.
So I wanted to try them. I played 2 Fevered Visions, which I never wanted. So I think those are slots that would become your 3/1. A combination of Kefnit the Mindful and Speech of the Final Word, just as like 2 extra win conditions if I thought I needed them. A spare
Right.
pull from tomorrow, 2 Dispels, and the other 2 negates and essence scatters, so I could go up whatever I needed, and then 2 summary dismissals. So my sideboard was like more counter spells, basically, and the right counter spells.
Right.
So I was playing a match against a friend of the show, Scott, and he was playing like black, white, planeswalker control, basically.
Okay.
He had a few creatures, not a ton of creatures, like the 3/4 that gains you life. He's got lifelink, and then he's also like exile a creature when it dies, make a zombie. I forget what his name is. And like that guy as a creature, and I think maybe one other creature. So we didn't have a ton of creatures, but he was running, the various planeswalkers and stuff. And I just got in a window where I just like countered everything he did for like the first 10 turns of the game. And it just, that puts people on tilt in such a way that you cannot experience without having doing.
Right, which is why I don't like playing blue deck.
Oh my God, it was so much fun though. It has been such a long time since I played a blue deck with that many counter spells in it that I could just do that. And then I sideboarded it even more blue spells. Even more counter spells.
I like my version of control that I like better is countering like 2 or 3 things, and then like once they get another thing on the field, they're like, does it resolve? I'm like, yeah. And then at the end of their turn, I kill it anyways. Just I was
I mean,
it's like, I did it. I landed a spell. It's dead. That makes people rage so much worse. It's so fun.
I don't know. Okay, so there's this moment where I had my 8/8 token on the field, right? And Scott plays like a planeswalker. I counter with the dispel. He plays something else. I counter it with the 3-mana spell. He plays something else. I think I torrential Gearhulk or something maybe. Like I do something crazy to counter it another time. And then he taps his last 3 mana, or no, his last mana to like cast the Fatal Push on my token, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "You only got 1 mana. You can't do nothing now." And I like show him the dispel.
Yeah.
To counter his instant, and it was a table flip-esque moment. He didn't. He was a lot classier than that. But I saw the emotion sweep across his face, like in slow motion of like, I'm gonna flip this table.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, it was absolutely. It's that thing that blue players look for, ever. Right. And I don't always play blue. I'm a Mardu control player at heart. Like I would much rather play, like you kind of said, like a bunch of really awesome like removal with good threats and card recursion. But given the opportunity to play the Crush of Tentacles loop again in Standard, I just had to do it. So I will get a deck list up at the website, samusgrobel.com. But yeah, it's definitely not its final form, that's for sure. I said I think maybe one of these Pyramid of the Pantheons becomes a Sunset Pyramid or something along those lines. I think it needs 1 more land somewhere. I think it needs 25 lands instead of 24. Like there's a few things. I don't necessarily think the 3 Evolving Wilds are right. I think it needs to probably just be more basics. But yeah, I won games because I made the opponent cry and scoop. I once the loop kind of got going and they're like, well, I can never do anything again. Let's try the next game. I had another opponent who was on a blue-red-esque control deck and got to the point after like the third trying to Magma Jet me or Lightning Heal or Harness Lightning me. And right. I'm just like, yeah, bro, those don't target players. It's just like, ah! Like that was really fun. Like I said, I was able to beat Remington down with the Hoopty. I think the Hoopty gave me like 20 life over the course of 1 match. Like that guy was just absolutely phenomenal for me. I cannot wait to play more Hoopty in my deck.
Is that what its name actually is?
I don't know. It's a river Hoopty.
Oh, I don't know. Hold on, let me.
He's gonna look it up and pronounce the name correctly.
Right. But if it is actually Hoopty, then I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna get that card altered.
I think it's Hoopy.
Because
I think it's Hoopy. There's not a D in it.
Me and some friends, we used to have some Hoopties.
Like I said, I think Hoopty is probably the way to pronounce it, though. I don't know. You're going to Denver, right?
To Denver, yeah.
Maybe you could get some cards altered for us. That would be awesome. Still, absolutely. The conversation's over until Travis finds this card.
Yeah, well, I don't think I have it because I just cleaned out all my commons and uncommons.
Oh my. Doom.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. Did you get a draft this week?
No.
I just expected you not to be around yesterday. So I was like in the middle of a hot stream, and you start texting me, you're like, "Hey, you want to stream today or tomorrow?" I'm like, "You're not supposed to be here."
No, Tuesdays are normally my nights off, my days off, and everything.
Oh, I was thinking that you had like a magic thing. Maybe that's Mondays. Maybe I got my.
Yeah, that's Mondays.
So no limited this week.
No, because of Sturgis Rally.
Oh, Sturgis.
So, all right, so
you sent me a text message about Sturgis.
It's such a bullshit. I hate it.
I want to go to Sturgis one day so bad. I have to make sure my life insurance is high, though.
Well, okay, so you really don't have to worry about dying if you're not on a motorcycle.
Oh, okay, safe then.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
For now.
But like, okay, so here's like a list of reasons why I hate Sturgis Rally. The first one being that the population of South Dakota and basically the west half of South Dakota, parts like the eastern part of Wisconsin, up to like North Dakota and Nebraska, that whole population just increases by like 200,000 to 300,000 people for about a month. And understand why everybody jacks up their price on everything. Like in those 2 to 3 weeks, or like 2 to 3 weeks,
demand goes up.
Like I bought gas last week, like right before the rally started, because I knew that if I didn't, then I would have to pay an extra like 30 cents for gas.
Fair.
Like per gallon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
The food prices increase. Like literally everything increases. But I understand why, because like I want to say 80% of the state income comes from the Sturgis Rally.
Oh, I'm sure. But also, it's sheer economics where there's only so much supply, but now there's, like you said, a boost of say 250,000 people trying to eat the same amount of supply.
Right.
I mean, you have to have some sort of increase for the market to adjust that.
Right. And like I said, I understand, but that doesn't mean I like it.
Well, sure. I mean, it's kind of like Gen Con, right? Like everything, the whole town of Indy. Like, yeah, it's a convention town or whatever. But you talk to those guys around there or whatever, and you're going to get, your year is going to be good or bad depending on whether or not you serve Gen Con well.
Right.
Like if Gen Con if it's a bad con, like you're talking 50 or 60,000 nerds. Like, and people who spent like me, I take 2 years to save up to go to Gen Con.
Yeah.
Right? I dropped 5 large pretty easy at Gen Con. Like that's my thing. And you got a lot of people, they I'm not gonna, put our fellow nerds in a bucket, but you're talking about people who maybe have a little bit more disposable income than I do as a family man.
Right.
Right? Like you buy your computer, you buy your sex bot, your basic needs are covered.
Right.
So instead you save up for like fancy nerd toys. Mad respect, yo. So yeah, I mean, there are people out there who drop 10, 20, 30 large at Gen Con without blinking an eye. So I can see Sturgis doing the same thing. I think it's probably a little bit smaller scale. But yeah, I could easily see a huge, like your year could be made whether or not, again, how good or how bad your Sturgis goes.
I personally know 4 people who only work during the month of Sturgis. They only work in August.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And they make all of their income and they just chill for the rest of the year. But like the majority of them, like I think the one dude owns a small trailer park.
Yeah.
And he only rents it out during Sturgis.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because
I was just gonna say, like, can you imagine a B&B up there? Like a biker B&B? Right? Like, hey.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. People tend to rent their houses out for like $3,000 or $4,000 for the month.
Yeah.
And they get paid that. The Craigslist ads go up for anywhere between $100 to $200 a night of camping on someone's lawn.
Yeah.
And people like, it's just like, yeah, all right. No, I understand why people make this kind of money. I mean,
and I would like to see Kansas do something like this, right? Like, or even Colorado, heaven forbid. But I think that would be pretty bad for us. But like, and maybe this is the libertarian in me, but like maybe you start with a small pot festival.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a pot. I don't know what you would call it. How do they call the Purge when they do the Purge movies? Where it's like all laws are suspended or whatever.
Yeah, for 24 hours.
Yeah, but you do like that for this weekend when it comes to pot. Right? So like from the Friday before to the Monday after, pot's all good. And we use this as a stick, or a carrot for the old people here who won't vote for pro pot. And we have the pot festival. We let people bring it in. And
3 weekends out of the year, or three days out of the year.
Yeah. You have like this awesome 3-day weekend. You don't pull people over for that or whatever. And people know, all right, so I can smoke from Friday until Sunday, and then I need to have it cleaned out of my system. And if I'm still like, a little bit on Monday, I'm not going to get busted for it.
Right.
You get cleared out of your system, you drive out on Tuesday, goodbye. Like, I could turn into a thing. I think everybody should have a thing.
Yeah.
Like, we should have a magic tournament that's like that, like a GP or something in Denver.
Or like Comic-Con, something for nerds.
Yeah. Except you know, I think the whole town should, like, you should just walk into the GP and like, here's your blunt.
Right. Okay,
put everyone on the same playing field.
So last year when I went to the GP, there was a Subway right across the street.
Sure.
And apparently nobody told them that there was going to be an influx of nerds. So they didn't schedule accordingly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like when we went in there, it was Sunday night. It was Sunday night. And everybody was just, exhausted. And, we were all like, let's get some food before we head back. Just get something in our system before we go. And we walk in there and they're like the one dude, you could see that he was just shaken by how upset he was. Like, have you ever worked in the food industry?
I have actually.
Okay, so when you get those big rushes, right, and then you think it's over, and then 4 more people walk in, you're like, oh, I hate my whole life. Like, just like that.
I never thought that like that, but yes, I understand the concept.
Right. So you could visually see how upset he was that we walked in, and I'm just like, oh no, okay, I know that look. They have been hit really hard all day. And so we get to the counter. I was like, do you guys need like 5-minute break? And they're like, what? And I'm like, look, I work in food. I know that. Look, do you need like a 5-minute break? Because we'll wait. And they're like, oh my God, that's the nicest thing all day. We didn't know anybody was coming, and like our managers wouldn't come in to help us, and it was just chaos. And this dude just started ranting. I'm like, yeah.
So in
that sucks.
In high school, I ran a Wendy's, right? I was a manager at a Wendy's, and we had, I don't know, some competition, some sporting event. I'm a nerd. I don't give an S. It's like a Saturday. And we had our usual Saturday rush, and then a bus pulls up. We're like, cool, bus. Let's kick it into high gear, bus time. And we get that bus done. And about that time, bus number 2 shows up. I'm like, oh man, did we seriously just get bus number 2? All right, let's deal with this. Hustle through, hustle. We get them almost all the way done, and bus number 3 pulls up. That is the closest I've ever had to one of those, like, please kill me now moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was fine. I was able to work through it. Like, the next hour afterwards, everyone was kind of dead, and I ended up doing an awful lot of work, but,
Right.
you know, it was fun. That's what you got to do when you're the boss, man.
Right. Or when you're me and nobody else is worth a damn at your job.
Oh,
I mean,
so sad. So sad. I don't know what else we want to talk about, bro. Like, we did, because, again, I kind of, mentioned earlier that, for whatever reason, I got my days mixed up in my brain hole.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really prepared for this show, so carry us, baby.
So I'm working on a deck that, you know how I love awful things?
Right. Makes my skin cringe.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm doing something awful, but I'm also doing something that you would enjoy.
Okay.
Simultaneously, all right? I'm going to start off with the thing that you would enjoy. And it involves probably your favorite goblin right now.
My favorite goblin? Yeah, Goblin Dark Dweller.
Can you see him?
I can see it now. You instantly went little screen on me as soon as you started moving the cards.
Okay. So it starts off with those guys, and then it goes into this one, Oketra's Last Mercy.
I'm down.
All right. And the only way I can really win is Approach of the Second Sun.
Okay, that's a little less good, but I'm with you.
So that's what I have so far.
Okay. So it sounds like you need something to kind of unify behind to make some magic happen.
Right. Like I'm thinking Gift of Parrot, like just overall ramp, or some sort of stability life gain, but also life or fix or something. Hell, I don't know.
So the green sorcery that you can cycle that goes and gets basic and put into play might be really good. Like it's 3, so you could Dark Dweller back if you need to. It's got cycling, so it's not dead. So something like that might be okay. Something like I'm trying to think. That green instant that gains 4 life unless a creature died.
Yeah.
Could be good.
And then you gain 8.
Yeah, and then you gain 8 instead.
Okay.
I actually drafted this last week. I drafted that blue enchantment, Swarm Intelligence. It doubles all your spells.
Yes.
And that was one of the spells that I figured I put on the wheel, and it didn't come back. And I was so mad. I was so mad because that spell didn't wheel. Instead, I just had oh my goodness, Travis. So in that deck,
how would that work with Approach the Second Sun?
It just puts 2 copies on the stack. One's a copy and another copy, right?
So you would gain 14 life?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to do it. I'm going to splash blue now.
Okay. That wasn't my
Jess
point.
got control. Okay. It's happening.
Jess got control. So anyway, I had first pick was the Swarm Intelligence. Second pick is that I think it's a 7 mana sorcery that you can cycle, but it deals your opponent 6 damage. So I had those 2 cards, and then I ended up drafting this green black control creature thing that I splashed. The Swarm Intelligence and the and that red spell. Because I had the black demon that cost a bunch of mana.
The 8-drop?
Yeah. So I was able to just tutor those spells up as I needed.
That's Lily's Bay.
So I I was playing a guy, and I got wrecked, right? I went 2-2. Bad deck, don't try it. But I was playing one of the guys there that I think has become one of our strongest players. And we were playing, and he's at 11, and I'm like at 6. So I'm like, block, sacrifice a creature, go tutor up a thing. He's like, sure. I tutor up the enchantment, I play it. He attacks me, I like block, sacrifice, go to 3, I think, or something. And I go tutor up a spell. He's like, sure. And I'm like, reveal my search target. And it's that 6 man or that spell that does 6 damage. And he looks at it and he goes, that deals 6 damage to a player? And I go, yeah. And he goes, I'm at 11 life? I said, yeah. And he goes, and 6 times 2 is 12? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, 12 is more than 11? I go, yeah. And he goes, all right, scoop face. It was great. Worth it the whole time. But yeah, it was not a good deck. But I think there's a concept there. I think there's something that you could do. Maybe not necessarily with the black version to tutor it up, but I think there's probably something in there. Like I was using you like look at the top 5 cards and you can put a creature and a source or a creature and an enchantment into your hand, and the rest go to the graveyard. Like it's 3 mana. I used it. Like Ronus's gift or some S.
Right.
I used it and I thought it was really good. So I don't know, man. Figure it out. Tell me how it goes. It seems sweet. And then you can run your enchantment gift of paradise.
Well, I don't think I'll need it because I have a playset of Oketra's Last Mercy and the what's that, Renewed Faith?
Yeah.
Is that the gain 6 one? Yeah. And then approach the second sun, so I can gain a ton.
Well, that, and you can also run like one of the Sea Crest Mare or Sun Crest Mare.
Yeah.
Sick.
Ooh, yeah, but I don't want to have a win condition.
You have Dark Dwellers already. You have a win condition.
No, I'll kill him.
Oh, man. Well, I think, unless you have anything, I'll wrap this baby up.
No, I don't think there's anything else.
I'm hoping next week to have some big news for everybody.
Okay.
I think we had a sponsor on the line, and if that works out, we'll tell you guys about it next week. But meanwhile, samusgrobo.com for show notes, deck lists, etc. You can check us out there. You can also find us on iTunes. We appreciate, positive feedback and stuff on iTunes, voting, sharing, whatever. All those magical things that people do on iTunes that I don't know anything about. You can send us an email, the number 2trollsbrew@gmail.com. Nathan actually had a question for us, but I think he Facebook Messengered it to me, and now I can't find it. So guess what? No question answered for you. If you would have sent me an email, I could have found it. I want to tell you about our Twitch, twitch.tv/SamusGarobo. Lots of exciting stuff going on there. I just got 2 new games that I'm going to try working into the system. FTL, have you heard about that game, Travis? Faster Than Light?
No.
It's like you're on it's an older style type game where you're on a spaceship and you like God mode these little guys around and you have to outrun the enemy fleet that are chasing you to blow you up. Apparently it's hard as F.
All right, and you already suck at games, so it should be entertaining.
I do already suck at games, and it's definitely entertaining. So I'll probably start that next week. And then I got another game called Plexus, which you're driving this little submarine. Like, remember how the original Star Fox, you were like in a tunnel and you had to like fly around and shoot the enemies? It's like that, but it's randomly generated maps, and you're not locked into a single tunnel. There's like offshoots and up and down and verticals and backwards, and it looks really cool. So we'll be trying a couple of those out, as well as more Magic Duels. I've been playing a lot of Magic Duels, mostly because they finally sent me my 2,000 Magic Duel coins or whatever for giving them my DCI number. So I'm waiting for my stuff to go back on sale so I can cash in all these packs. Is that greedy of me?
No.
Okay, good. Good. They killed my game already. So we're going to do some Magic Duels, and then hopefully, with the aid of this new sponsor, maybe get some Magic streaming going on. Of course, lastly, Twitter, twitter.com/TurtlePower319 if you'd like to talk to Mean Santa over here, a.k.a. Travis. Been doing a lot of tweeting. You gave up on Facebook, and now you've been tweeting a lot.
Well, I went back to Facebook because I realized that
you just shifted your social media time from Facebook to something else pointless.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Like I realized that I was still arguing with anybody about anything, even stuff that I agreed with. So I figure if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go ahead and do it where my friends can see it because it's more entertaining that way.
Well, and that's where I wonder if you should do it on Twitter too, and just make sure your friends are on Twitter also.
I don't care. Like I can type more on Facebook.
That's true. You have to have really condensed arguments to tweet.
Yeah, and that's just stupid, and I don't like doing that.
That's hard.
Well, it's not that it's hard, it's just that it's dumb.
I mean, hard, dumb. Like my way.
Hard and dumb, just like your face.
Oh. So we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a game this week, and since Travis is bad at everything, we're going to try to do movie quotes. I did some movie quotes earlier today with some friends, and I had a lot of fun. But
okay,
now I can't seem to get it to come up again.
How's this for a movie quote? You want to kiss my lucky egg?
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's a classic. It's a Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings. Is that the like Jamaican bobsled team movie?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my god, it's so bad. You should watch it.
I might put it on my list. If it's on Netflix, I'll watch it. How's that? I
guess you're not going to watch it.
I finally got to see, or whatever. I finally got to watch Chips, the new Chips movie.
Yeah.
I give that a thumbs up.
Really?
That movie was funny as hell.
Okay.
I laughed so much. It was great. Yeah, crazy. Okay, so Travis.
Yes.
If you get two of these right, you are the king.
Okay.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. To me, being a gangster was better than being president of the United States.
Is there any more context?
No, that's the whole quote.
Can you tell me who's saying it?
I cannot right now. This is not it doesn't have the who. Just
okay.
I could give you a year. Would you like a year?
Sure.
1990.
Okay, then no, I don't know it. But as soon as you say it, I'm gonna be pissed off if I do know it.
What if let's see. Can I do a Joe Pesci voice? I don't think so. It could be Joe Pesci. This is like the only movie that I know Joe Pesci was in.
Is it Lethal Weapon?
No, I do know that he was in that one now that you say it. No, Goodfellas.
Okay, yeah, like...
Yeah.
That's been so long ago.
1990.
Yeah, that's so long ago.
How old were you in 1990?
How old was I in 1990? I was 4.
Oh, I forget. You're all babies. All right. How about one a little newer that I'm pretty sure you've seen? And by a little newer, I mean 4 years newer.
Okay.
Okay. Get busy living or get busy dying.
It's a Die Hard.
It's not a Die Hard.
It's not a Die Hard?
It's not a Die Hard.
Is that a Lethal Weapon?
It's not a Lethal Weapon. If I say the name Andy Dufresne, does it mean anything to you?
Yeah, that means everything to me.
Okay.
It's the Shawshank Redemption.
It's the Shawshank Redemption. All right, I'm gonna give that one to you.
Oh yeah,
because you were a baby.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Like, if you give me character names,
Yeah, I wish I could do all of these. I wish I could. Here's another movie I think that I've actually never seen this movie. In fact, it could be one of the movies that I was loaned to watch that I still haven't watched yet. I don't remember. Do you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
yeah, they call it Pulp Fiction.
There you go. See, I knew you knew some of these movies.
Hey, you know what? That was probably one of the first Disney movies I've ever seen that's rated R.
Okay. Good pull. So I think you're going to get a lot more of these, but Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth dying for." I agree with the second part. No, this one doesn't ring
No.
about
7?
7. I thought you would like that movie. You Had Me at Hello.
That's a Tom Hanks movie?
It's a... Oh, who's the guy I can't...
Or is that a Jerry Maguire movie?
It's a Jerry Maguire movie. There you go. I was trying to think of the little guy's name.
Tom
Cruise, yeah. You got it when I said little guy, didn't you?
Well, no. Like after I was going through my head, I was like, no, it's not that Tom. What's the other one? Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
All right, one more. I bet you'll get this one. You still wake up sometimes, don't you? Wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lambs.
Yeah, that's one of the Hannibals.
The Silence of the Lambs. That movie put me to sleep so hard.
Yeah, so the books are a lot better because you can actually
books are always better.
Yeah, well that too. Like you can see the character progression. In Silence of the Lambs, it's just kind of like, all right, okay.
I feel like there's
I know there's a story here.
There's probably a movie that I have seen that was better than the book, but I cannot think of it.
Okay.
Like I've read books and then watched the movie and been disappointed, and I've waited to read the book after I watched the movie and have been okay with it, but I can't think of an instance where I read the book, watched the movie, and was like,
ah! Not the Jack Nicholson Shiny, but the one that went from like straight to TV.
Okay. That
one I like better than the book.
Yeah, I'm not a Stephen King fan. But not have to check it out maybe. I don't know.
Do some more movies.
Do some more movies. Man, it's been like an hour.
I don't care. This is fun.
The list that I was going off of is gone. Movie.
Make a new list.
Quotes. I'm Googling. Quotes.
While he's Googling, is everybody ready for the new Commander decks? Because I bought some sleeves specifically for the new Catmander.
Oh, yeah. We probably should have talked with that. Okay.
Yeah, but, we got other times.
More. I got some more. You ready for some more?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find one. Here's a famous one. I don't know if you know where this is from, though. Go ahead. Make my day.
Yeah, that's a Clint Eastwood.
Don't think so.
Isn't it?
I don't think.
John Wayne.
I take it back. It was Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, like Dirty Dozen? No.
You're thinking of Dirty Harry. It's not Dirty Harry.
But it was one of his westerns. The bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Sudden Impact. I thought that was a submarine movie.
That's where that's from? No, it's not.
Yeah. Oh, it is a Dirty Harry movie. Dirty Harry is at it again. Sudden Impact.
Okay.
Once
you said no, I was like, wait, no.
I'm totally wrong. Here, this one's also famous. You talking to me? That's not how it's said, though.
No.
That's not even close. I can't
That's
do
not-
it. I can't do it.
There's nobody else around, so you've got to be talking to me. I also can't do it because I don't know how to sound like an idiot. I mean, Boston, Bostonian,
I don't know. My favorite,
New York, whatever. It's all the same.
My favorite part of this was actually the remake with the 3 pigeons on Animaniacs.
Yes, because that was a Taxi Driver, right?
Yeah, Taxi Driver. Am I a clown to you? Do you think I'm funny? You think this is funny? Oh man,
Yes.
those guys were great. Those guys were great. I love those guys. How about one more? One more. Here's one I don't think you'll get. I'll have what she's having. And this is actually an incredibly famous moment in the movie.
Give me another quote from that movie.
Massive Orgasm?
Orgasmo?
No. This is from When Harry Met Sally. So in the
See, I've never seen that. That was boring.
You know what? I didn't see it either, but I know this scene because I like Meg Ryan. Let's see.
If you would have given me like a comedy or...
Well, I'm just going down this list, bro. I'm just going down this list. And a lot of these are too famous. Like, they have It's Alive, It's Alive.
The Frankenstein's monster?
Yeah. Houston, we have a problem.
Apollo 13, Apollo 11.
Apollo 13.
Okay,
Right.
see, it's another Tom Hanks movie.
You gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Do you, punk?
Yeah.
See, like, some of these are too easy. So
that's another Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah. So you got to try to like find one that's not like super easy. How about this one? Because I don't think that you'll go for this one. I think because you're not a friend of this. But greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
No.
That is Wall Street. What I really want to do is find something from like...
I saw The Wolf on Wall Street. That was a good movie.
Slightly different movie. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit? All right, okay.
Here's another one that's really famous that you'll probably get. Toga. Toga.
Animal House?
Animal House. Animal House.
I was like college shirt. Animal House.
Cinderella story. Out of nowhere, a former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion. It looks like a mirror. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. Dancing Gophers.
That's the name of the movie?
No, Caddyshack.
That's not a gopher.
Yeah, it's a gopher.
It's a groundhog.
It's a gopher.
No, it's a groundhog.
That's it. Show's over.
It's definitely a groundhog.
100% a gopher.
Because didn't they have another one called Groundhog's Day?
Yes, different movie.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, his movies all kind of run together. They're like Adam Sandler movies. All right, troll on, everybody.